This nibble originally aired on RSBANDB Update, episode 771, Digging Archaeology. Enjoy. All right, let's move on to collections and qualifications in that regard. So the number of collections that you have for this skill is massive. And, this is something we can we'll talk about just a bit on how these work, and then we'll morph that into qualifications on this. So the way collections work is you get your standard collection log that you would have in, like the Slayer collection log or something to that effect. And it shows you exactly how many of each you have contributed to various sources. But there's one major different thing about this collection log compared to the Slayer collection log, and it's
actually part of the skill.
It's actually part of the skill, and this contains information about how to unlock the relics, which we'll be talking about in the rewards section first up. So there are, 4, 8. There's 10 collectors from the looks of it. I might have miscounted on that list. But each of them has a specific number of artifacts that they're after from all the various different dig sites. So, for example, if we were to take Isora, for example, she has one called Zamorakian 1, Zamorakian 2, Zamorakian 3, and Zamorakian 4. And when you do Zamorakian 1 the first time, you get a piece of abyssal thread, which, when you combine with a giant pouch, unlocks the relic for your runecrafting pouch is not degrading, but more on that after. So inside Zamorakian 1, and this is just the example I'm using for one of the collections, you bring Isora in the Black Knight's base, a hookah pipe, a opulent wine goblet, a crest of Dagon, the Disorder painting, Imp Mask, Lesser Demon Mask, Greater Demon Mask, Order of Disrobes, and a Ritual Dagger, and that completes that collection, and then you'll be given that piece of Abyssal Thread, which we'll talk about later. But if you want to keep completing these collections, you can, and if you complete it a second time, it will reward you Chronotes instead of that thread, at least in this case. I don't know if the secondary rewards are always going to be Chronotes or if they're going to be something else entirely.
I mean, you always get Chronotes for giving any artifact to a collector. It's just not going to be as much. You always get a bonus
for completing a collection.
For completing a collection, it's just not going to be as much as giving it to the museum.
Yeah.
And I know it's speculation, but those artifacts might mean something once we learn more about the mission. That's all I'm saying.
And
might want to hold on to them
exactly.
until we know.
So what you can do with your fully restored artifacts, or you can donate them to one of these collectors, you can donate them to the Varrock Museum for just Chronotes, or you can disassemble them for invention components.
And some of these are actually used by Mystery, so I tend to...
like the Crest of Dagon, for example.
Yeah, right.
yeah, like that one, basically. No, but like I've used other ones for Mysteries as well before, so I tend to go for some redundancy and make sure that I keep them in my bank.
Yeah, and this is the choice we were talking about in the skill. You can either grind it out, collect the artifacts, collect materials, or buy materials if you even wanted to, and just go for straight XP. Or you can make your primary mission about the collections, which is absolutely amazing in terms of choice, I think.
Yeah. Well, did you notice what a difference having a collection log at skill launch made? Like, it added so much.
Could you imagine what the skill would be without the collection log?
Confusing.
Yeah.
Imagine training mining and smithing from level 1 with a collection log.
Oh, man. Yeah. I don't know.
That's the mind-blown sound.
And that is, I think, what is lacking quite a lot from the game, is that the only milestones and targets that you have in most skills are numbers. And here it actually has like the mysteries,
I'm first
the
to 120,
collections.
guys.
Yeah, and there are a whole bunch of people out there right now who are not sleeping and care a lot about that number.
Apparently, someone passed out on stream.
It's not for me. And if that's what I need to do to have fun, then, by all means, just stay out of my way, throw billions at it, go for it. But
talk about selling cows for 80 million, eh?
Oh,
yeah. But, that is not how the majority of the players... That race is going to be raced. That's going to be finished maybe a week from now, right? It's not going to take that long.
And then what are you going to have after you're done? I mean, you're going to have... Number one is going to have the joy, but...
Yeah, but see, I think that's the thing with the skill, though. I really think that core loop is so good that it doesn't...
It doesn't need it.
That is the concern I'm having. There's a bunch of people right now who are rushing this, either for the number, for getting the max guild back, for getting to invention or summoning, for getting money. And this skill, I feel, is most skills you can experience again. Yeah. This one, I feel, you can only really experience to its fullest once, because it is the discovery skill. Yeah. Once you know the answer to everything, it's going to be not quite the same.
You can watch full episodes of RSBANDB Update right here on this YouTube channel. You can also listen to audio versions of RSBANDB Update at update.rsbnb.com, and feel free to subscribe to our show and any number of podcast listeners out there at update.rsbnb.com/subscribe.